How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, as we have grown accustomed to. Each week we hear from the old basketball coach herself, Coach Sandy Pugh. Panthers coming off an impressive win over Pine Bluff, 79-46. Coach, welcome to this week's edition.
Thank you.
Well, it's always exciting to have you on with us. And before we go any further, congratulations to Miss Octavia Ford. She received Player of the Week accolades.
Oh, yes, she's excited about that. Definitely deserved it this week. She had a big week for us.
Had a strong, solid week. As a result, she gets, it used to, when they gave it to us, it was a certificate and I got old and fainted in the mind. I can't remember. But either way, it'll be something that she could always kind of look at her own personal collection as she starts to get a little aging in life and reflect and say, you know what, I had a pretty good week that week.
I don't know if they give certificates or not anymore. I don't know if they do that. I'm not sure how that works, but it was nice to pull up and see a picture of her, and finally we had someone get it. We kind of looked at it a couple times for Shayla and thought she might have gotten it because she had a couple of good weekends, but someone always seemingly had a better weekend. So it was nice to finally see the purple and gold representing on the page.
Well, as the old folks say, what don't come out in the wash always comes out in the rinse. And with that being said, it's more important now in those win and loss columns than the personal accolades as we get toward a very important road stretch of this final part of the season. But before we get into that, when you recap the win over Pine Bluff, what stands out are rebounds and free throws, 80+% from the free throw line and out rebounding your opponent by 21 boards. That's the kind of night you're looking for, is it not?
Oh, definitely. We rebounding as you get ready to close in on, trying to win a championship, you always look at those areas where you've been deficient. And rebounding definitely has been one. So that's been a point of emphasis for us. And as we go down this back stretch trying to close out, we want to maintain what we're doing and get our guards even more involved, in helping us out on the glass. So kids done a good job with that.
Well, we have Alabama A&M on Saturday, Alabama State on Monday, and I know the most important game is the next game ahead of you, but I've spoken with you about this in the season. How different are these teams as you make preparations for each game coming up this week?
Well, one team has a little more experience than the other at the guard. Both teams are solid on the block. Both teams, we match up well with both teams. I think Alabama A&M, after they played each other, Alabama A&M won by double digits. So Alabama A&M has been on a hot streak. And, so I think it is all up to what we do. If we go in there and we play at the our level of capability, we should be fine. But it's still on the road, and you have to go do it. You can't sit here and hope and wish. You have to get out there and play hard and take care of the basketball, because taking care of the basketball, our last 5 games, we still in the wrong side of that column. You don't want to look at the stat sheet and see where your kids have more than 15 turnovers, and we. That's going to be a big key for us in these 2 games, that we don't turn the ball over. And then, like I told the kids, we got to do a better job of making better pass decisions and taking care of the basketball in transition. So just too many turnovers.
Well, before we go any further, at this point of the season, it's really mental and psychological. And for those who have never been to Huntsville to witness a basketball game in their current gym, I don't know about you, Coach, but it always puts me in the mindset of a prison gym with the way it's set up. And I could just visualize guards with guns looking down below and it's a real tight area, but it can be pretty intimidating, especially if you got a pretty competitive team in the likes of the Bulldogs.
Well, I've never looked at it like that.
I mean, I think about Walking Tall in Brubaker, and I was like, man, this reminds me of a prison gym.
I know they have a tough fan base, and they come out and support their kids, and we got to be ready to play basketball. They're gonna come out. They're gonna play hard. They always do. And we just got to have our mind focused on what we're there for. Take care of the basketball and rebound and finish. I think we'll be the victor.
Well, I'm no doubt about that in my mind that if everything holds its steady course, the Panthers will be heading down this final stretch what I'm drumming up to be an epic setup. But we got to get past these two games first before we can start counting the chickens before they hatch. What I want to know, without going into further detail, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is the team health-wise, with 10 being the greatest?
Well, Shayla went down with an ankle sprain, so it was pretty big on her. She went to the doctor yesterday, so we'll get a clear idea of where she's going to be probably on Friday. So right now, she's out. A couple of the other kids have been complaining about a little nagging stuff. My knees aching or back aching, but, little stuff that's to be expected, after as many games as they've had to participate in. So, we just got to, get the bodies, get them in the cold tubs and, get their mind focused on what they need to be doing. And, like I tell them all the time, you can't lean into that discomfort. You have to rise above it, and you have to focus on the big picture, which is what your teammates need you to do. So, how they feel isn't always the thing that they need to be focusing on. So, if we can get them ready to go mentally and their bodies, get Shayla back out there. I don't know what percentage she's going to be playing at, if she even is able to play. I don't know, but, ankles are a tricky thing. Sometimes some kids can play on it, others can't. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Absolutely on that one. As we had made mention earlier, at this stage of the season, it's really all mental because everybody have some type of bump or bruise when you're running and going up and down on that hardwood. And I don't know if it's a prevalent thing these days. Do you still get a lot of shin splints at this time of the year?
No, we try not to. We don't allow them to play on various surfaces. So there's a theory that if you run on asphalt, you run on concrete, you run on wood, that contributes to shin splints, the different surfaces. But I think we do a good job of stretching and various other techniques that we do keep their legs healthy. So they're fine right now. We haven't had any issues with that.
Well, the Panthers victorious over Pine Bluff by the score of 79-46. It'll all begin on Saturday as they take on the Bulldogs and then swing to Montgomery to take on the Hornets. Panthers are positioning themselves, instead of 6 games, now it's 4 games that they need to win to hoist their championship banner for the 2018-19 season. Coach, as always, we want to give you some final thoughts and comments as we get ready to close this segment out.
Well, like you said, we're going into this final swing for a game. We're doing our countdown, and the kids are totally aware of exactly where they are and what they need to do. So we're going to go in here and try to take care of some business in Huntsville and Montgomery. And hopefully when we come back, the fans will be able to come out and watch an epic battle between us and Southern, because that's definitely where we want to be. But before we get to that, we got Saturday at 3 p.m. We've got to take care of some business. So wish us luck, and hopefully we'll come back to good.
Well, I'm going to give you a little acronym on luck before we get ready to get out of here. You spell luck L-U-C-K, and that stands for labor under correct knowledge. And I believe you've provided the knowledge necessary for the Panthers to come out in the victor's circle this Saturday and Monday, and it'll work its way out to that final stretch where we'll be hoisting up a championship banner. I'm saying that, not you. You play the games, let me do all the talking. She is Coach Sandy Pugh of the Panthers women's basketball program. I am the radio guy, the Dr. Mike Prince. We're going to pause for the calls, and we'll be back with more of the Mike Prince Show.
This is Al Wash with ALW Entertainment, the promoter of the State Fair Classic, and I want y'all to keep your dial because I listen to the Open Mic Network every day. Keep the dial locked in.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? The radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We have been enjoying a Where Are They Now moment with the Prairie View men's basketball program. We had the fortunes of hearing from Clarence Stubblefield and Wilbur Williams. We are now being joined with a person who was involved in coaching these young men, and that is none other than our beloved brother James Gamble. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, and yourself?
I'm absolutely fantastic, excited about it, and thanking you for making yourself available with us here at the Mike Prince Show.
No problem. I'm happy to do it.
Yes, sir. Now, look, we've been basically talking about the success for the 2019 men's basketball program at Prairie View, led by Coach Byron Smith, and they got into some deep waters with the team that you were a part of the staff on, with the 61 and 62 Panthers, winning 10 in a row in 61 and 12 in a row in 62. You being with these legendary coaches and players, what was it like for you to be a part of that team and then to coach these guys and seeing things from a different perspective?
Well, it was really great. I, too, at one time was a Prairie View Panther, and I played for Dr. Moore, who was the head coach at that particular time. And I was so happy to have him, for him to have me as part of his staff. And I certainly enjoyed being there. And we had just a great bunch of young men to coach. And it was just a dream come true.
Now, when you're in the midst of making history, people don't realize it until after the fact. When you are witnessing this firsthand, because a lot of people, when they see athletics, they only see the dress rehearsal part of it. They don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that go into it. How committed was this team to each other off the court?
They were very committed. Most of these kids, all of these kids were Texas-born kids. They attended school, Texas high schools, and during that time there was no integration or anything like that. So all of the kids came from the colored schools, as they called it, during that time, and they were all very good teammates. You had some from the larger cities, Houston, Dallas, but we had a lot of young men from smaller towns too, and they just that's what made them such a good team, was because they were great teammates.
Okay, and they had that balance. Now, you talked about the small country player, and the player that keeps ringing out from everyone we've spoken with was Zelmo Beatty. When did you realize that this guy was the real deal and was truly a special ball player?
Well, you could tell that right off the bat because of his work ethic and because of his size and his ability to do things. Zelmo was a very good athlete, as you can tell by the fact that he later played professional basketball. But we could tell right off the bat that this kid was something special because he was very unselfish also. and a lot of the other players, they looked up to him. They realized his capabilities, and so we were all aware that we had something special in him. But not only him, we had some other very very outstanding young men that were great basketball players too. So it wasn't by any means a one man show. We had a bunch of outstanding young men.
Very good, very good. We're talking right now with James Gamble, part of the coaching staff under Coach Moore and the 1961-62 Panthers that had those magical runs, won a national championship back in that time, and it has really, really been a refreshing thing. It's amazing how wins can bring people back together when you're comparing the 58-year gap that was then and what is now. Now, I'm going to have you reach into your data bank of memory, Coach, and I want you, if you don't mind, to share one of your funniest moments you had being with those group of guys back then.
One of my funniest moments, I don't know. When I look back on it now, it was funny, but at the time that it occurred, it was not funny. We were playing. We were undefeated. We were something like maybe 25-0, and we were playing down in Jackson State, and it was well, I don't like to talk about officiating, but let's say that it wasn't the greatest. It was not the greatest officiated game in the world.
Okay.
But we got Selmo got in foul trouble early. Some of the other players too, some other better players early. But we had depth. We had good depth, and so we played some of the other kids. But anyway, it came down to about the last 3 or 4 seconds, and I think we were down one, and we blocked a shot. One of our players blocked a shot, and we ran out and had a layup. And the young man laid the ball up, and a kid from Jackson State came out and knocked it out of the basket, which in everybody's book know that was goaltending. But it was not called by the official. But when it happened, Coach Moore, Dr. Moore, our head coach, and he ran out. He charged the officials, and then I ran out behind him and kind of jumped on his back and hold him back. And then some of the other players ran. They saw I was having difficulty because Dr. Moore was a nice-sized man. And anyway, some of the other players ran out and helped me take him down. We took him down to the floor, and all of us came right there and just we just sat there and cried, And like I said, right now it was funny, but at that time it was not, and a game like that sticks in your mind forever. But it made us better because at that time we understood that from then on out you got to do the best you can and not make ball games that close.
That was the lesson learned, huh?
That was a lesson learned.
Wow, it was a tough one to have, and I could imagine when you were saying at the beginning it wasn't funny when it happened, but when you look back on it and when you painted the picture, everybody trying to slow and drag Coach Moore down before he made matters worse, I could imagine that was somewhat of a task at hand.
It was, and it's just something that we after everybody graduated for a number of years, we used to gather at Coach Moore's house. I've called him Coach Moore. He was Dr. Moore at the end, but he was Coach Moore to me and Daddy to most of us. But we used to gather at his home every homecoming and fry a bunch of fish. We would on Friday we would fry a bunch of fish. Saturday we would have a big pot of chili after the game. And we just used to have just a terrific time for a long number of years, until he finally passed away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so we used to talk about the good old days. But like I said, we had a lot of very good players on the team, and to name a few was, Clarence Stubblefield was very outstanding. Cornell Lackey was a tremendous basketball player. Thomas Redmond was very outstanding, and I could name them on and on. It was not just starters. They was a team of good players. Wilbur Williams was a good player, and just on and on. We just had a lot of not only good basketball players, but fine young men. And I bet you, if you would look back on all of those kids right there, all or most got degrees.
and that's what counts.
That's what really counted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what really counted. We were very proud of that.
We're talking right now with James Gamble, part of the Prairie View alumni and basketball excellence that had been going out throughout the 60s. And, Coach, I want to ask you this question, and I've been asking everyone that we've come across, especially those who are PV graduates. How did Prairie View impact your life?
Well, I used to make this statement, and sometimes I just think about it. I don't say it anymore. But I used to say everything that I am and everything that I hope to be, I have to give a lot of credit to Prairie View. I'm a California boy. I came off the streets of South Central Los Angeles, commonly known as Watts, and I came to Prairie View, and it was I ran into a lot of people just like me, didn't have nothing but dreams, and I was a basketball player myself, and a track athlete. I was All-American track athlete. I finished second in the NCAA in the long jump in 1957. I made all SWAC 2 years in a row, and if I'm not mistaken, in my senior year I led the SWAC in scoring. But I above all, by the position that I was in, I do have a degree. In fact, I have a master's degree from Prairie View. So I can talk all day and not say enough good things about Prairie View. It was just a place for me. In fact, I met my wife at Prairie View. We met as freshmen and courted for 3 years, and we got married, and we've been married for 61 years.
Man, that is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I met my wife on the campus of Prairie View, and we're celebrating, I'll be our 30th anniversary on our next wedding. Yes, sir. So I feel you totally, 1,000%. I am truly, truly thankful and blessed to have this opportunity to speak with you and speak on behalf of our beloved Prairie View A&M University. And I want to give you an opportunity, as we normally do with our guests, is give you some closing thoughts and comments as we get ready to shut this segment down.
Well, first of all, again, I feel blessed and privileged to have had the opportunity to not only attend Prairie View and participate in the athletic program, but also to be a part of a dream for a number of people in winning the national championship and being able to work with all of those fine young men from all over the state of Texas, and also to be a part of the staff at Prairie View. And a lot of people don't understand how difficult at some point in time it was to not only attend Prairie View under the conditions that were there as compared to now. You know, I mean, it's just, it even makes me prouder to see what has happened, the progress that's been made down at Prairie View as far as new buildings and just everything. The whole atmosphere is very, 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 very different now. But it was a blessing for me to be a part of what we had during my time, because during my time, all we had was each other on the campus. We had campus fun. It wasn't a bunch of being able to go here and go there. Everything we did was on the campus. In movies, dances, whatever. At 6 o'clock, you had to go your way and the girls went theirs. And the only way that you saw them after that time was to go to the library. When I look at that now, that was a good thing. A lot of us graduated, you know,
Yes,
because
sir.
because of the rules and regulations that they had then. But that's about all that I can say. I'm appreciative of the fact that you and whoever else is involved in this gave me an opportunity to express myself as I have, and I hope that this will allow other students or athletes or whoever's privileged to hear what we have talked about. I hope this will serve a good purpose for them.
Well, sir, I know it's going to serve a great purpose, and I want to thank you very, very much from the depths of my heart for making yourself available, and know that you are family, because we all connected to our beloved Prairie View A&M University. He is Brother James Gamble, living in Port Arthur, Texas now.
Every day.
I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We thank you guys so much for being a part of our special Where Are They Now segment. Remember, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter account are at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, our website is obnradio.com, and the 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.